Okay, Statistics XL 13. That's this class, Introductory Statistics.
Okay.
Yes, everything looks good. Thank you. My name is Miles Chen. You guys can call me Miles. That's fine. My other class, I have them call me Mr. Chen, but with you guys, it'll be a little bit more informal. I might be signing off out of habit. Sign off my emails as Mr. Chen. Don't. You can call me Miles, no problem. Okay. This is the class website, classes.smileschen.com. Pretty much everything related to the course will be posted there. Okay, so that's the one website you need to know, and we'll go there and we'll go over some I guess course policies and the like. Okay. So anyway, you enter that into your web browser and it takes you here. Okay, I'm teaching two classes. One is XL10 and the other one is this one, XL13. So make sure you select XL13. Otherwise, you'll get the other class. And I took just an informal survey, and it seems like most of you guys are in the right class. If the XL10 class is also an introductory statistics class, but it's slower paced. It's easier and, in my opinion, not as much fun, but I don't know, if you really struggle with math, that might be a better class for you. But anyway, just giving you kind of the idea of what that class is like. Most of them are community college students looking to fulfill a math requirement so they can transfer to a four-year college. Most are taking statistics because they didn't want to take like pre-calculus or something, or calculus. They want to avoid that, and because they most of them will say they're bad at math, and a lot of them actually are. But anyway, that class is taught at slower pace, a little bit more gentle. This class, you don't need calculus, but a lot of my students who are in this class have already taken calculus, but when they're applying to a grad program, they says you need a statistics thing, and then they're like, oh, okay, I gotta fulfill this or something. It's taught at a faster pace. I wouldn't say it's not hard, okay, but you do have to keep up, and you definitely need a comfortable grasp of algebra before we go on, and your arithmetic skills need to be strong as well. Okay. Well, anyway, so this is me. This is my email address, and we meet in this classroom, which is nice. And I have office hours from 5 to 6 in the Math Sciences building. Okay. There's no easy directions to the Math Sciences building from here, so my best advice is go to Google and type in UCLA map, and then type in Math Sciences, and it'll point you where it is. Okay. And students always complain it's hard to find my office. There's an elevator, and you should take that to the 8th floor. And it should be easier to find. Don't confuse the Math Sciences building with Boulter Hall. Okay, the two buildings are connected, and you might go to the 8th floor of Boulter Hall, but then you can't, even though the buildings are connected, you can't get from Boulter to Math Sciences. So make sure you get in the Math Sciences building first, then go to the 8th floor, and then you should be okay. All right? But students get confused because it looks like it's one building. It is one building, but it's also distinctly different. So I don't know, how do we define a building, right? All right. If any of you have any kind of disability, whether learning disability or physical disability, whatever it might be, you might be entitled to some accommodations, but you have to arrange those through the Disabled Student Services. Okay. Please don't tell me that that you need extra time or something like that, because I'm not qualified to make those decisions, so you need to contact them. They'll ask for some paperwork, and they will make arrangements for you. So that's there. Okay. Oops. We will have the midterm and final exam on those dates, and then we've got quizzes on these dates. Yes, question.
How much is the textbook, and is there a digital copy of it?
Okay, I will get to that in a moment here. All right. Okay, so the exam, this says if you can't, it says like you should drop the course. That's just, it's in writing on there. I'm usually a little bit nicer and more negotiable, but if anything comes up, like for some reason you can't be here on those days. I know a lot of you have like interviews with graduate programs that you're applying to or things like that. Please let me know as soon as possible. We'll try to work something out. We'll do our best, okay? And we've got quizzes on those dates. All right, so anyway, just make sure, at least, especially for the exam dates, mark those dates in your calendar and try to block those off. Try not to schedule other things there, okay? I've set up a Facebook group page, all right? Some of you are on Facebook, some of you are not. If you do have a Facebook account, I encourage you to join. If you don't have a Facebook account, you can create one. You don't have to. It's not required. But anyway, it's a group page set up. So if you have questions about the homework or anything like that, I encourage you to post your questions or comments to this thing, and that way, if I answer or another student can answer, this conversation can benefit other students. Whereas if you were to email me, my response only goes to you, and other students might have the same question, and well, it makes my life easier by having to only write the response once. But other students are also intimidated to ask questions, and so if a student asks, then benefit others. Okay, and I will award bonus points for your homework, to your homework score, if for any particularly good or insightful posts, things like that. Okay. So that's that. Okay. So here's the textbook. It looks like this. Some of you already have it. Some of you don't. You can buy it on Amazon. To buy it new, it's like really expensive. It's like $140. Okay, some of them are advertised with a CD or like some special access code or something like that. You don't need any of that. You just need the text itself. Okay, you can get it used for a little bit less. You don't have to buy it through Amazon. You can buy it wherever it's offered at the bookstore. I don't know how much it costs at the bookstore, but it's kind of expensive, and it's just the textbook industry, right? They charge a lot because you can't do anything about it. I didn't pick this. It's selected by the university. It's a pretty decent book, in my opinion, but it's expensive. Is there a digital copy?
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't encourage piracy of any kind or copyright infringement, but I do, some students have let me know that there are ways to obtain the contents of this book online. You have to, I'm not going to tell you how to do that.
Amazon sells a digital copy.
Huh? They also sell a digital copy. Okay.
So it's legal.
A legal digital copy also exists. Okay. So how ethical or unethical you want to be is up to you. Okay. There is another book called What's a P-Value Anyway? I forgot to bring it. It's a small little book. It's maybe about this thick, but it's only about this big. It's only about this big, and it's a little bit overpriced again because it's published by a textbook company. But the contents of the book, I think, is actually is pretty useful. It's optional. I don't assign I won't ask test questions or anything like that from this textbook, but in my opinion, it provides some insight into some of the topics we're covering. And especially those of you who are going into the health sciences. The guy who writes it is also a doctor, and he writes things from a medical perspective. And so I think it's a good book, but again, not required. That one's optional. Okay, you need a calculator. Okay, most of you already have a calculator. Many of you actually have a graphing calculator, which is more than adequate. If you don't have a calculator, I recommend getting at least a scientific calculator, okay? You're not allowed to use your phones as calculators. I know you can download a scientific calculator for like 99 cents or whatever, or free, but you're not allowed to use your phones or iPads as calculators because just because there's also potential for cheating by having these communication devices, right? So anyway, I recommend at least a scientific calculator. Technically, you can use a 4-function calculator through the class, but your life will be a little bit miserable. This will make certain calculations a lot easier, faster. Okay. We'll talk about the exams as those approach, and then I assign homework pretty much each week, and that's that. This is what we'll be covering. We'll pretty much get through this almost the entire book. Okay, we'll skip a few sections, but we'll cover everything. Kind of on a, it's an introductory class, so it's like a survey of statistics topics. Okay, so I love statistics. Okay, when I took my introductory statistics class as an undergraduate student, it changed my life. And I was an engineering major. I finished with an engineering degree in undergrad, but then because I loved statistics so much, I took a bunch of statistics classes in undergrad, and then I decided to go to grad school to study statistics, and here I am teaching you statistics. Okay, so I love this. I love the subject. It's dear to my heart, and I really like this class. I really like teaching this class. I like the group of students. I like you guys already, even though we don't really know each other well. But I do. And my only, I guess, lament or regret is that we meet once a week for 3 hours at a time, which limits the stuff we can do. And the other regret is that we're meeting in a classroom setting and not a computer lab, where there's no opportunity to meet in a computer lab, because a lot of statistics today is done on the computer with statistical software tools, and it's just unfortunate we don't have the means to really get into statistical computing, which I also find exciting. So you will learn a lot of statistical techniques and tests and tools and things like that. But we're going to learn them the old-fashioned way by doing them and learn how to do them by hand, which I think is valuable. Okay, in elementary school you learn how to add by hand and do things, and I think that was good. Even though you can use a calculator for a lot of these things. Okay, so we're going to learn some statistical tests. We're going to learn how to do them by hand. We'll learn a lot of the kind of theory and the background and at least how these things work, but if you go forward and do more statistics, it will probably almost always be done on the computer. Okay, so but I think it's okay. It's kind of just like getting started. Hey, has anyone here already taken statistics? Okay, like okay, a good amount. Okay, so yeah, about I'd say about 20% of you. Okay, well that's good. Some of this might be review, but we'll get through it. Okay. Are there any questions on policies stuff from the course? Yes.
Quick question. If we turn our homework to you, will we get it back so we can study for the midterms?
Yes. Yeah. You know, so my other class, they all complained that that they didn't get their homeworks back. So. Okay. I guess I could do the same thing for this class, okay? So the other class, what I ended up doing was I said, okay, we're gonna do this on the honor code. You're gonna do the homework. You're gonna do the homework, but then you're not gonna turn in your problems. You're gonna turn in a piece of paper that says I did my homework, okay? And if you guys can promise me that you'll do your homework and not just say you did your homework, then we can do that, okay? And I'll update the homework assignments to reflect that, okay? Basically, you'll just print out a page and you'll initial off and say, this is, show you what the page looks like.
What do you post the answers then?
Yeah, I actually already posted all the answers. Yeah, and when I did homework, I never actually graded the homework either. I just checked it off to see if you did. Because I got like 2 classes, it's like way too much work to grade all the problems individually. It takes me long enough just to get through the exams or the quizzes, and that's why I did my exam Scantron. Just with like hundreds of students to try to actually grade homework problems, it's ridiculous. Okay, so I'll create one just like this for you guys. I'll just change the 10 to 13. And you're going to just say, right, homework assignment 1, and you're going to say, I completed the homework, and I'll do this, okay. And then you turn this paper in instead of the actual problems, okay. But do the homework because it's useful. The homework is actually beneficial to your learning, so we'll do it that way. Okay, is that all right? Okay, no, you guys are actually going to do your homework, right? Yes. Question.
So is it something about an attendance audit? Is that going to play this?
No. I usually don't have an attendance problem with this class. My other class, like around the 5th week, the students start disappearing. So I'll modify it. I'll update the syllabus a tiny bit. Yes.
With the differences between Excel 10 and 13, is it really just the pace or is it the content?
Okay, so
because now we have me debating on which class I should be in.
can I ask you a few slightly personal questions?
Sure.
How much math have you taken before this class?
I've recently taken pre-cal.
You should be fine in this class.
Yeah. I've taken
How did you do in pre-cal?
Okay.
Okay, alright.
Okay.
Do you hate math?
You could say that, but I mean, I've taken a stats class before, but it was like 2-3 years ago.
Okay. Oh, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Well, anyway, basically, all of Excel 10, we would have finished by about the 6th or 7th week in this class, okay? And the class is 12 weeks long, okay? So basically weeks 8 through 12 and 7 through 12 is new material or stuff that we don't cover. So it's a lot slower. And it's just not as much fun in my opinion. But they like it, okay. All right. I wanted to say something else. Oh yeah. So anyway, I'm recording these. I record my lectures and I post them online. You just click this lecture videos thing and they'll be there. Sometimes this camera freaks out on me and the video files get corrupted, and if that happens, I'm sorry, the lecture is lost. But that happens. And then and for the homework problems, okay. Let's see. I assign these problems, and then I provide the answers to the problems, okay? And these answers are here to help you, okay? And then some of the answers I've created videos for, so it's like a video. It's like I was inspired by Khan Academy, where he works through the problems. So I have the low-tech version where I'm working on a whiteboard and I'm working through the problems, but it's the same idea, okay? And I recorded these, and they're a few years old now, but I still think they're okay. If any of these videos are terrible, just say you need to fix one of these videos. Okay. So anyway, these answers and videos are here to help you. Please do the problem on your own before looking at the answers or videos, okay? Because if you approach a problem and you get stuck, I encourage you to work through it and try to understand what you're doing, rather than jumping to the video. Because when you watch the video, everything makes sense, it's easy, but then when you have to do things on your own, it's a little bit tougher, okay? Alright, any other questions? Are you guys excited? Yeah, me too. Okay. Okay, alright, let me put a break in the